The birds are singing. It's not a blizzard, at least not today. And that means it's detox season. Or at least some people think so. Do I think so? I don't know. Do you need to detox? Do you even know what a detox is? Detoxes are not for everyone. And there's criteria that I use to determine if someone should detox. The first criteria is, are you healthy? Because if you're not feeling very good, don't make it worse. Because a lot of people's detoxes are like a punishment. So not to pick on any specific kind, but if you are taking some kind of concoction that you're making, or even buying and just bringing home, and you're vomiting and diarrheaing everywhere, stop, slow down at least, pace yourself, maybe dilute it, maybe don't do it, because that's not maybe where you want to start. Because a lot of people, they think that a detox is like, well, I'm just going to like take something and get rid of all the poison and garbage inside of me, and I'm going to feel fantastic afterwards. Yeah, sure, I'll feel a little crummy for a bit, but I'll bounce back. You don't bounce back. You go down a hole. You don't come out ever. A little dramatic. So when you're leaving the winter months, we're kind of like hibernating animals in a sense where we hold on to stuff. I have to do that. Your body holds on to extra fat. And I think that's actually a good thing because especially if you live in a colder climate, you can use a little extra, keep the cold out. But I mean, part of our metabolism also slows in cold temperature, whether you believe it or not. And then what happens is that when the warmer temperatures start to come back, if you live in cold climates like we do, then your body upregulates and other organs start to kick in a little bit more and become more vital, more active, liver in particular. And hence why the spring is often a good time to do a detox of some kind. Now, a beginner's detox, if you've never done anything like that before, you would do well not do something aggressive, but something mild, like a 24-hour juice fast, maybe, or a broth, 24-hour broth only. So I'm highlighting where it's like you're not devoiding yourself of calories or nutrition. I'm highlighting it's only for a day. And it's relatively mild with like, these are food-based detoxes, as opposed to, I went to the health food store and I bought something off the shelf and it's this powder and these pills and I'm going to take this and it says that I can't eat, so I'm just drinking blah, whatever, and all these pills and see you in 2 weeks if I'm still alive. So don't do that. Do what I was saying, especially if it's your first time. And how do you know if you need a detox? I mean, do you need a detox? No one goes to their family doctor and be like, I need a detox. They're going to be like, you're crazy. And that naturopath you've been seeing is putting all these poisonous ideas in your head. Sometimes they're right, but sometimes I would like to think that we're steering people away from that. But a detox, like really, like our organs do detoxify themselves, or at least they want to. And our diets overall doesn't help. Now, sometimes we can just do a detox by cutting out garbage that we're consuming. I know these are very mild examples of detoxes, and if you're watching this, you probably want like, give me the good stuff. Hey, we'll get there. Take it easy. Don't be so eager. You can always skip ahead 2 minutes, I guess. I don't know if it's going to be actually 2 minutes. So sugar, cutting out sugars would be good. Even cutting out red meat for a week. Yeah, I said that. Wow. I'm a protein guy, but sometimes it's good to just like lighten the load. It's a lot to digest. And you'll feel good, even if it's just a weekend. Just be vegetarian for a weekend. I'm not promoting vegetarianism or veganism, especially not veganism. But no offense. But sometimes like there is a benefit to doing that or having more vegetables in your diet. That's for sure. I was missing this camera. So those are very introductory ways to start to detox yourself, because it's food-based. It's reducing the influx of dense material and giving your tummy a break, your digestive system a break, and maybe even your immune system a break, especially from things that are depleting it, making it work extra hard. So that's basic level. I had mentioned firstly, like a juice fast. A lot of people do that because they feel juicing has like, it's raw and it's very concentrated in its nutritional value, and there's certain fruits and vegetables that have a increased detoxifying effect, which it does. I think that would be like a second tier if you're going to do it for a period of time. Some people do like a 7-day juice fast. I think that's very aggressive. 3 days, I'm like, just make sure you have food handy just in case. But you can do it. And outside of losing weight, which you will, because partly you're like under consuming calories, probably. But you're also like cutting out a lot of material that needs effort from your digestive system to break down. And you're going to have less inflammation, and less inflammation means less water retention, means that you're going to be peeing out and excreting more effectively and using the washroom a lot more effectively, because your transit time is going to speed up because you got just fluids coming through you. Your body's going to be like, well, come on, everything's moving. Flush, flush, flush. It could be tiring too, because you don't want to be that explosive, I guess, if it's explosive for you, because that's depleting over time. And that is an element of a detox that people need to be aware of, is that, and why I tell non-healthy people not to do it, is that it's going to drain you, bad and good. You're going to feel better after, but in the process and shortly thereafter, you're going to be like, oh, like if you had a really bad flu and your body's like, just my stomach's still kind of bothering me, and I'm not really like, my energy's okay, but I feel like empty. Empty is a good word, because you are trying to empty yourself. And when you are cutting out a lot of the toxins and or heavy foods that your body's trying to break down, your intestines can start to repair themselves. Your liver starts to work on other toxic areas and chemicals that need to be broken down and metabolized. So you can feel worse. Even on a mild detox, you'll feel headachy. You'll feel a little bit nauseous. You'll feel like your appetite's down. That's part of it. So within reason, it's okay. If you're like on the floor, like they're going to peel you off the floor, you've gone too far. I always err on the side of caution. Like, just make sure that you're eating, having sufficient calories and electrolytes and hydration, and do things under supervision. Don't log yourself in a log cabin and say, see you in 2 weeks, I'll be 40 pounds lighter. You might die. Don't do that. Then there are, I think, maybe the best of both worlds. It's a protein powder mixed formulation, which sometimes I just get people to do in addition to their normal diet. There's various companies that they've got great formulations, medicinal foods, in powder form, and you start drinking these shakes, and there's a lot of herbal components and macronutrients increasing liver and kidney process. So you're going to feel like you're detoxing without being overly depleted. You're actually just super supplementing with things that are going to upregulate your detox pathway. Phase 1, phase 2, that's what they call it. So I would start there. If you're not sure what to do and you're like, I don't want to do anything drastic, do one of those powders. I'll tell you which one to use. They're easy. They actually work good. They even taste good. So don't worry about that. Let's see. There's other kinds of detoxes. You can do a sauna. Infrared sauna is really nice. And you don't have to melt away. You don't have to like be in there for 2 hours at full blast. You can do 10 minutes. Get a little sweat going, jump in a cold shower, go back in for another 5-10 minutes. You start sweating. Sweating is a great way to detoxify yourself. Another thing you can do is just take magnesium. Magnesium is a good way to increase your bowel output because it has an osmotic effect. It brings more water into the colon. The more you can flush out your system, you're already detoxing. So detoxes don't have to come in a pill. They can just be part of like your natural food choices too. A lot of soups and stews, when you throw the kitchen sink in there with all the green stuff and bitter stuff, your body's detoxing. So it may not be the sexy in a neon jar. It cost you $200. A little cilantro will go a long way. And then the other questions people give me are like, but what am I detoxing? What's coming out of me? And with cilantro, I'm kind of alluding to sometimes it's heavy metals. Sometimes it's not. Most of the time it's not. I think it's just incomplete metabolites, whether it's from hormones or things that our liver is not fully processing and needs to eliminate. Because our liver is a filter. And if it's busy, which most likely is, if you have a fatty liver, your liver is really busy. Then it gets backed up and stuff that doesn't belong in us sticks around longer. Another thing to be mindful of is if you have high body fat, this is an increased storage mechanism for fat-soluble chemicals. Could be metabolites, could be hormones, could be all kinds of nasty stuff that doesn't belong in us. So if you lose weight rapidly, you might feel terrible initially. You might, there's the positive experience of losing weight and some kind of euphoric state. You also might feel icky. And it takes time. Your body needs to rebalance. So I haven't mentioned it, but hydration is critical. And good water. Good water, meaning, it's a tricky way to say it, but the water you drink, there should be something about it. It could be alkaline. It could be some type of filtered water. It could be energetically activated. If you don't know what that means, it's because I'm being really vague, because it could mean a lot of different things to different people. Sometimes even just writing a nice positive word on your water can activate it. Sometimes people put a little something in it, stir it around. Sometimes people put like a frequency into it. People pray on their water. Think about it. It'll help you. It'll do something. Better than just pond water. Don't drink pond water. All right, so water, food, supplements, environmental and or physical practices. Stretching. Stretching can be a detox. If you stretch like this, hey, did you see that? I stretched my arm out, my phone rang. Magical powers. Oh, I forgot to. Shh. Stop interrupting. Here's a good one. And here's one people don't really think about when it comes to detoxing. Electronics. Electronics detox, or taking a break from these things. You could get sick from taking a break from electronics. Your body's wavelengths, frequencies, whatever you want to call it, gets in tune with these devices. And when you take a break from those things, your body's like, I'm used to this wavelength, something coming at me. Where is it now? I feel sick. So it probably means that you've been overusing it and you do need a break because your body's kind of gotten used to some kind of woo, very technical term. But it does happen. So people who go out into nature, you're grounding yourself. Grounding. I want to bring that up. So when I do an in-body analysis where someone stands and the resistance is measured and we get computations, we get all kinds of body fat and muscle mass numbers. I also get water levels. Now, someone who's stressed out, they will have high extracellular water. It increases. So it's almost like you're retaining fluid. And when someone's really stressed out, not sure if it's just electrolytes or some type of metabolite that draws water into the interstitium, but it's causing you to hold on to excess water. And sometimes it takes away from water intracellularly, which is where you want it to be so it can work properly. So stress, you need to detox from stress. You can detox from devices, electronics. You can detox from toxic relationships, people. Sometimes you need a break. Detox from nasties, nasty people. You know who you are. Anything else about detoxes? They can come in a pill, but they can come in just your food. They can come in just about anywhere. I'm not giving up my coffee, though. How many is too many? I don't know. Someone made a comment on one of my recent Instagram posts. I did a post where I had like the 5 best supplements you need for anti-aging. And then when I turned the camera around, it was blurry, meaning like they can't see good. They need the supplements. And someone said in the comments, this is not a very good marketing strategy. I'm like, it's actually pretty good. It's not bad. Come on. It's pretty funny. I'll take funny over sales one day of the week. Yeah. People, I get it. You know what? The more comments I get, I guess it means better exposure. That means I'm getting my name out there, and at least what we're trying to promote in the community. So haters gonna hate. I'm not editing that out. But back to detoxing. That would be, oh yeah, you also have to like, that's another conversation altogether. Toxicity, that comes in different forms. But today's like more like just keeping it simple. If you want to detox, you got to know why you're detoxing. You want to lose weight. You want to feel better. You want to be happier. You want to feel lighter. We can do it. There's different ways. But the main thing, maybe, and this will be the good conclusion, take-home message. If your diet isn't good, if you're not taking care of yourself dietarily, if you're not eating your breakfast, lunch, dinner, you're not preparing food, you're eating whatever, and then other times you're like really, really strict, and then you kind of go back and forth. Or after dinner, you're having a bag of chips. Doing a detox is just you're spinning your wheels. So understand that a detox is cool, and people can get excited about it. But if you're not going to have a consistent, healthy diet program, not going to do anything. It's going to be a waste. Yeah. I think that's all I wanted to say about that. When in doubt, make soup. Sounds like the right thing to say.